Hey folks, JD here, and today we're looking at this guy. This is the Syma X15W, and it looks really quite nice. Over the past couple of days since I've done the unboxing review, I've had a little look, and I really think with this one, Syma are trying to go back to basics. They come up with a new design for their quadcopter. They're trying to get the fun back into quadcoptering, I think, without overloading on technology. Now, not saying the technology is a bad thing, but I think now and again it is nice just to go back to basics, have a real basic quadcopter, and this guy is pretty basic. It has FPV from the little front-facing camera here. It does relay it back down to your phone. Also, it has altitude hold. That altitude hold obviously keeps you at a specific altitude. It isn't GPS hold, so you will drift around. Now, today, as I'm sure you can see, it's horrible. Look at this. Absolutely horrible weather. It is raining, the wind is a little bit high. I think it's coming in about 5.5 miles an hour, so I'm going to endeavour to get this review done without this thing getting too wet. Now, we've had a bit of a lull in the rain. It's kind of subsided for the time being, so I'm going to take this guy up. A couple of words though before I do. If you want to find out any product information on this guy or any of the quadcopters that I've covered over the past year and 3/4, then please look in the description. The description will give you a link to a quadcopter, to this guy, to whichever one that I'm reviewing. If you could use that, I'd be extremely grateful. That is an affiliate link, and I'm trying my best to get myself partnered up with a big name so that I can bring you all the best quadcopters that I possibly can. Thanks folks for your support, I really appreciate it. Now, to go into this guy a little bit before we take him up, I've gone through the pre-flight checks. Obviously, I'm not a fan of these propeller guards anyway. I think they hinder a lot of flights, but on this guy they're already on, and because this is exactly how you see the quadcopter when you take it out of the box, I didn't want to deviate from that plan. I've been through all these screws, made sure they're all nice and tight, especially the ones on the back here, because I haven't done up any of these. And so far everything was nice and tight, everything is good to go. So without further ado, my friends, let's take this one up. Okay, so let's pop on this guy. So just a little quick press and hold on the red button on the top here. Obviously you should see these lights flash. That just lets you know that the quadcopter is on. It's at this point I'm going to connect my phone to the quadcopter, and then we're going to open up this application, the Syma Go app. We've had a little look at this app. I've done a video on this app which you'll find in the description as well. So let's take her up. Alright, up we go, and here we are, just feathering her a little bit just to see how she reacts. Wow, she's remarkably still. Remarkably still. Look at this. Beautiful. Okay, let's take her out. Oh, fair play. She really does seem... God, she feels really delicate as she flies. She really does. You push the top left shoulder button, then that will give you automatic takeoff, and a longer press gives you a landing. So here we go, speed mode 2. This only has 2 speed modes. It is flying through the air. We've got a little bit of a breeze today, as I said, and it seems to be cutting in through that. One thing I noticed straight away is the motor sound, the motor noise. There hardly is any. It is so quiet. It really is. I mean, with the Syma X5UW and X5UC, those things screeched. Absolutely screamed. And this thing, which is a lot smaller than those 2 quadcopters, this thing really is quiet. It's incredibly quiet. Now, I'm feathering the, if you're wondering why the quadcopter's wobbling a little bit like that as it's going up and down, I'm feathering the quadcopter a little bit to just bring the altitude down a little bit. I don't want it going too high, just simply because of this breeze, and this quadcopter is very light. So, out of the 2 speed modes, first speed mode is extremely slow, to the point where if I use low speed mode in this little breeze, which is, don't forget, just coming in over 5 miles an hour, it'll actually blow the quadcopter backwards. So I don't want that. I always want my flights to be nice and safe, and this is why I'm flying in speed mode 2. This is enough power to cut through this breeze and give you quite a lot extra power as well. So far, I'm quite taken with her. She's really feels really delicate in the air. I don't know why. Could be this really, could be the small size on this transmitter, could be the fact that there's not a lot of sound coming from the motors, and could be that all of her movements are very precise. This seems like a fantastic beginner quadcopter. I mean, look at it. It's just beautiful. But all in all, she is a brilliant little flying machine. She really is, and she cuts through this breeze. Okay, let's try some 360 flips. That is the bottom left-hand shoulder button. Oh, lovely. No problems there. Right, I'm going to turn off the video recording there just so I don't waste all the battery on video. Okay, this quadcopter does also allow app control flying, so you can fly it directly from the app. That also gives you flight path mode, as we know from previous quadcopters. That only works if you are using the app, even though the function is available when you're using the transmitter with the smartphone attached to the FPV boom. Unfortunately, that does not work unless it is in full smartphone control. The flight plan, pretty much, if you've never used it, you draw a plan on your smartphone and the quadcopter follows it. Counteracting the breeze really well. Oh, that's the battery. Okay, let's take her out a couple more times. I'm not going to let that one get in the way of a good flight. Okay then folks, let's bring her back in. So let's use the one-touch landing. Oh, that's not bad, a little bit bumpy, but all in all, that's not bad. Alright, let's get a verdict. Okay, so thoughts on the Syma X15W. A fantastic lightweight quadcopter. Great for beginners, great for intermediates, great for advanced users. 2 speed modes, slow, well, very slow, and yeah, actually quite quick. Enough to cut through a 5.5 mile an hour. Enough to cut through a 5 mile an hour breeze. Now, as you can see, FPV camera on the front. We're going to have a little look at this, at the quality of the footage when I get back and start editing. Now, what it looked like to me, it didn't look to break. It looked like the quality, it looked like the footage was actually going to be really good. So we'll see about that in a bit. Altitude hold worked flawlessly as usual. I didn't use the app to control this smartphone today because the weather itself is not very good, and I didn't want my finger to slip on the screen or anything like that, as it has started to rain now. Now let's have a little look at the transmitter. Now, I think a lot of people focus a lot on the quadcopter. Yes, that is the fun bit, but these guys should get the recognition as well. This transmitter is awesome. They've scaled it down in size next to the Syma X5W and X5UC transmitters, and it's just beautiful. Nice little bit of styling to the transmitter as well. Fits in your hand extremely well. The shoulder buttons are so easy to touch. Obviously, don't forget this is takeoff and landing, and this is 360 flips. These two don't have any sort of any use on this quadcopter, which is a bit of a shame, but it does give you a couple of buttons less to think about. All in all, the FPV boom works tremendously well. The spring is nice and strong, holds onto your phone, it feels secure. That's what it's all about. And also the transmitter range, there weren't any issues between here and the bottom of the basketball court in communication between the transmitter and the quadcopter. So all in all, if you want a really cheap, really good quadcopter that will cut through the breeze, that looks good, that is so silent in its flight with really bright LEDs, then this guy is somebody to check out, most definitely. Obviously, as I said at the start of the video, there is going to be a link in the description, and in all the other descriptions there are links to all the quadcopters should you want to know more. So thanks ever so much for watching and listening, my friends. I've been JD, you've been fantastic as always. If you haven't already, please subscribe. Hello and welcome to all the new subscribers. I hope you're enjoying the channel. So until next time, my friends, happy flying.